in the New York Times, there's an article, a discussion in The Ethicist. So there's this column where folks ask advice, kind of like Dear Abby, and someone who focuses on ethics replies. And the question today is their mother or grandmother of the children voted for Trump, and the holidays are coming up. And this is a question we're kind of seeing from both sides, I'm sure, a lot right now. Right after a heated election, Trump is obviously a deeply controversial figure, and I'm going to go into that a little bit and whether that matters or not in terms of our family's support of him or lack of support of him. And so I just shared my thoughts. I wrote them up, and I figured I'd discuss it here. I think, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the other holidays that go with that. I'm Buddhist, so I don't particularly do the religious aspects of Christmas, but I love the gathering. And I think one of the strengths, we need to re-knit the fabric of community and of America and of folks who disagree with one another. So I want to really strongly support being open and discussing and disagreeing and loving and having hard conversations. But, and there's a big but here, big but, the gentleman who writes in to The Ethicist in the New York Times says, look, my wife, her children, her family, they're really upset about Trump getting elected for all these obvious reasons that I'm happy to elucidate, but everyone knows or should know. He is a sexual assaulter or abuser legally. He's a criminal legally. He's a con man. He doesn't particularly believe in or care about democracy or the planet that's already in crisis. He's not only not draining the swamp, he's filling it with the most corrupt and inept and malevolent cabinet in history. He's planning on mass deportations. There couldn't be anything less American. So not a great guy. Some people voted for him for innocent reasons. Oh, he's great on the economy, which he's not. He's wildly incompetent and basically does giveaways to billionaires. But they think that he's, being a Republican, being a businessman, who's, bankrupted 6 times, that he'll be great on the economy. Really, if you look at Biden, we've grown and recovered and reduced inflation faster than any other major country post-COVID. Invested deeply in the middle class, 80% of the Infrastructure Act, which finally got passed, a bipartisan miracle under a president who understands bipartisanship from his many years working in the Senate. 80% of that is investing in so-called red states and the middle class. So, I'm just laying out some of the groundwork for what I would say, which is on the one hand, conversation and rethreading and reknitting is really vital right now. And on the other hand, to the gentleman's question about his family, they're so angry and they want to be angry at the mom or the grandma. And the dad who's writing in is saying, well, the mom and grandma she's a loving mom and grandma, and I don't want her to feel unwelcome, and I want us to all be a family. So I think the tough news is we can't overlook that she is a loving mom and grandma, and she has to be part of that family. But on the other hand, we can't overlook people who feel like someone just voted for a rapist and someone who's going to target them and in various ways. I feel pretty targeted as a journalist with a voice, a platform of millions of fans on different platforms. And so this is serious stuff. And I think a lot of the comments I read were like, politics, just forget it. Just be kind. I think you can't just be kind after this. You have to have honest, open conversations. That, as anyone knows, who is in a relationship is how we actually repair. Is we have to be open, we have to be hopefully respectful, hopefully lots of deep breaths and maybe take breaks if you need to, but we have to have real conversations in order to have real relationships and real repair. So I'm just going to end by reading my short comment, what I wrote, which is going to be an article, and send my love to you. So how or if to relate with MAGA family this holiday season. Politics aren't something we can or should put in a private drawer and forget about or overlook, despite a lot of pressure to do so by a lot of people. Politics affect life and communicate values and lack thereof. Politics affect food. Politics affect investment in the middle class. Politics affect college. Politics affect war. You can't just say, oh, politics, just ignore them. They affect everything. That a beloved family member is a loving mother or grandma, etc., doesn't obviate their support of an assaulting con man, etc., who has active disregard for democracy or even safety of its citizens. So these holidays, frank, civil, open conversation, listening, and repair is needed. And our MAGA family members need to realize that what they voted for is likely not what they'll get, but what we voted against is likely what we'll all get. Good luck to us all.